So, setup is the first thing we look at, as you can see. Now, I think we knew in the past that we wanted the golf ball with a descending blow. People sort of get this with chipping or any shot in golf for that matter. If we're coming in too shallow, we'll top it or thin it or whatever it may be, okay? But the way we want to try and get this downward strike is by moving your centre of your chest a little bit this way, not by leaning your hands way in front. And if we look at that setup in general, you've got your hands a long way right of centre in terms of as you're looking down. The stance very, very wide, the shaft lean very far forward. And from that position now, because you've automatically now, if we look at your wrist angle, there's already a hinge in your wrist effectively. Right. So any wrist hinge now as you go back, you add to that, you've got 90 degrees there halfway back. As you're back again now, it's even more so. So as you come into that golf ball, that club's going to come down very, very steep, hitting the ground a bit early, okay? Hands a long way forward and the ball then sort of shooting out very, very low. And then you see your arm sort of pulling around your body to try to hit the ball somewhere to the right, or non-left as we say. And it looked a bit sort of, and all your feet kind of spinning there. Now again, generally when you see your left foot do that movement, it's because the weight's sort of staying back on that left foot a little bit more. And you can see as you come to impact here now, there's a little bit of sort of lean back here now with your lower half. So you're kind of hitting the golf ball kind of this way a little bit, pulling round to the right, just in some hope of hitting the ball non-left. But that's kind of evolved over time with your long game, when the shots have gone this way to the left. Okay, so we can neutralise your setup. Short shots a lot narrower, shaft angle a lot more neutral.
Short shots narrower.
Yeah, I think. For me, I don't. There's so many terminologies with shots. You've got chip shot, pitch shot, bump and run, chip and run, lob shot, flop shot, punch. I mean, it's a lot of words to say. I look at golf shots. For me, there's 4 shots. You've got long shot, short shot, high shot, low shot.
There you go, great.
That's basically it. And there's a combination of short and long, short and high, long and low, long and high. And you think, okay, so when you're playing this first shot we had there was nothing in the way, okay? No. So we could literally hit a short, low shot, okay? So we choose a club in our bag, it's a low shot, 7-iron, 8-iron, doesn't matter, any of the 6-iron, any club with less loft, okay? And that sends the ball on a low trajectory and it rolls for us nicely. Nothing in the way, we can use the contours and roll the ball there. If there's a bunker in our way, we do a short, high shot, and we choose a club now that gives us height, sand down, pitching wedge. But it's the same technique. So you're not changing your setup or your swings, or you're just learning to swing a golf club. So this would be a short backswing here, okay? Okay. If you want a longer shot, your club would continue on up there. So nothing's really going to change in terms of the movements. All you would do is change your base to start with. If you need a long shot, you need some stability with your lower half, so your feet get wider. Right. If you don't need that stability, you need more control, you're going to be shorter.
And long, for me, is what?
I would say your threshold would be 60 yards and up. So 40, 50 yards, you'd be still looking at short shots. And then that will change in time. So you'll start finding for me, for example, I still class a short shot for me as 100 yards and in. So I'm not in I can hit a non-full wedge 100 yards for me, okay? So that would be still a short shot for me. When I get to 120s, I'm looking at full shots or long shots, okay? As in full length swings. The one thing we did discuss, and this is obviously a reminder, okay? The first thing you do when you get to a golf ball, look at the light. You could have this, just in this area here now, we just discussed, your ball could be sat up on a nice bit of grass there, could be in a bit of a hole there, okay? Hole there, it could be on top of the grass, could be a bear like, could be on a daisy. All these different spots your golf ball might get into will determine whether or not you can play a certain type of shot. So if you get to the golf ball, if it's a perfect lie, and I think, believe it or not, there is a little bit of a judgment to what's a good lie, what's a perfect lie. Sometimes we go, that's a good lie, and when you play, well, that's the one that's a good. If you're not sure, put the club down next to the golf ball. How does that club look sitting next to the golf ball? If he sits down there and you can see that club being a bit full, but the leading edge of that club is could get under the ball there, he's a good lie.
And that's the first one.
That's the first one with the shaft.
Look how near that heel it is.
Exactly, yes. Exactly. That's going to be shanky-ish, isn't it? Get careful, okay? So, look at the lie. The lie's good. You can choose any club in your bag you like. If it's a bit meh, then you have to take a different club. If there's something in your way that you need to go over, if you look at the lie, and for example, say your golf ball is in that. Now, we discussed using the option of a hybrid. If there's nothing in the way, that ball can go doink, 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 and roll on the fairway onto the green. Absolutely fine. if there is an object in the way, now usually a bunker would be the thing that's in the way, or maybe a biggish mound, then you can't go over that. You have to therefore go round it.
Yeah.
Make your next shot easy. I would far rather you have a 30-yard putt from over there than a 20-yard bunker shot, having just duffed it in the bunker.
Yeah.
Bunker shots are tough. They can be made easier with a bit of tweak of technique, but they are quite tricky for some people. If you've gone in a bunker with a 7-iron from 120, 30 yards, you go, oh, that wasn't too bad. You walk in there with a little bit more of a positive mental attitude. Yeah. If you've just duffed a chip into it from 20 yards away, you're going to, you're going to walk in that bunker going like, oh. So straight away now you're on the negative side of the spectrum. Chances are you're going to duff the bunker shot. It won't even come out. Then it might thin across the green. So from 30 yards away, you've gone duff, 2, 3, and now you're playing your fourth shot from the other side of the green where you could have been in the first place. So just look at the lie of the ball. That will dictate what you can or can't do. If it's a good lie, happy days, green light, go with it, whatever club you want. You can use pitching wedge, sand dine. You saw the height you were playing with some of these sand dines when you were playing these nicely. They were coming off that club face, that height there. That's level with your knees, pretty much. You know, the angle of the camera, probably 2 foot past, 3 foot past your thing there. Compare that to that one here when it came out there. He has gone whoosh, like a rocket. And when you swing this here now, there's less pull with your arm around your body. And look at the ground when you hit it, okay? You just disturb the ground, okay? There you go. You and me both, mate. If you could, have a job, so. So that's the thing, is if we can get hit. The problem is with this technique, okay, hitting the ground, you see that, hitting the ground was a problem. If you hit the ball cleanly and then a big divot, you're okay, but you're relying on a ball being on a perfect line. If it was a slightly dodgy lie or not such a good contact because your weight shifted, that bigger divot, if your ball's now a smidgen late, that's going nowhere. You duff it in front of you, it's just going to go on the ground. 10 yards in front at best, okay? So always look at the lie, and again you can look at your finish with your lower half there when you finish that one. That one there's a lot more stable with your lower half here. Your weight staying on that right foot this way, whereas this, look at the foot action there, it's a bit kind of spinny as you're trying to sort of, come on, please go right, please go up in the air. Like trying to get up in the air and lean back on it. And it's that move there.
So that right foot there is, it's
barely moves, isn't it?
Barely moves. And neither does the left one, though.
It kind of rolls on the ankle. The knee's moving in a bit, which is fine, because the torso's going to rotate fully, which you can see. So 90 degrees there. Hips have rotated around. He just sort of comes in just because you kind of has to. If he stays back here somewhere, you'll do some hip damage or knee damage. So allow body parts to move as they want to, but if they're moving in this fashion, it's because of the way you're trying the golf ball, trying to lean back and trying to help it up in the air. It just fires the ball across the green. They're very low. And your brain, you sort of see the shot going this way and coming down softly, so you've given it that much energy, you hit it that way, it shoots off this way through the back of the green. And then of course when you played it with a lot more loft, and again if you look at the club face, that felt to you way open when you set up, okay? Look at the different club faces there. So you see the loft, the club face on that one, you see, That's what you've got to try and get. The club looks you wide open, it's not wide open. No, it's not. It looks it, but it's not, is it? Okay, that groove there, again, the bottom line of that club face is dead straight. So that's your target line there. That's going to go to target. A lot there I know, but that all make sense, yeah?
Yes.
Some things to work on there, okay? We're going to work on this impact, okay? Next session will be on the golf course, so we can sort of put some situations where you can sort of implement these shots. 40, 50 yards, you about that mini par 3. So if we can get on the green, if your game of golf this afternoon, if you can, success to me would be assess every lie correctly, or better, assess every lie. That's success, okay? Just look at the lie, okay? And then from there, from 40, 50 yards, keep a mini par 3 score. So if you hit the green and 2 putt, that's a 3. And I would say for you, 50 yards and closer would be your mini par 3 start. So if you're on the edge of the green 10 yards away and you chip on hole the putt, you got a 2. If you duff your chip in 3 putt, you got a 4. So just keep your score. See how many times you did that on each hole. I mean, how many holes you did that, shall I say, and then make an average of that and just see what you get.
Yes, okay.
The goal is under 3.5, closer to 3 if we can than 3.5. Because if I said to you now, from the distance we had there, if you could knock it on the green, not difficult to do that. You could do that.
Yeah.
It's not saying, oh, hit it 250 yards over that tree with a bit of draw there, Phil. You're looking at me going, steroids, it don't matter. But if I said chip a ball 50 yards, that's something we could probably accept we could do, okay? So give that a good go, get on the golf course, and we'll have a look next time.
I just
okay,
want to double check now.
Yeah.
So look, the short game for me now is that
shorter,
neutral,
and before you swing that, just wait.
See what I did there now, right?
Yeah,
so this is my default. Is I've got the weight there, right? So I'm trying to swivel in like that.
Yeah.
But that's not for that.
No, for this short shot, you don't need that yet. Just stay on that right side, okay? Because what you've done is you try to, rather than get your weight forward, you've pushed your handle forward.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's the problem. You got your weight back and your handle forward, very different position.
But for today now, when I'm out there, for that longer game.
Yeah, long shots, wider stance. You're going to move a bit onto your left side there, that's fine. Yeah. And then from there we move through. Because that movement through to the right side creates power. Yeah. We don't need power on the 30-yard shot. So we preset it already.
I've been doing the same every single shot.
Exactly.
And in the bunkers as well. I'm doing,
too much movement, The weight shift side to side gives a bit of power, which we don't need on short shots. So.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good man.